Hey everyone, it's now the middle of June and we have a flooded road. I just turned around. We're gonna go back to it, and now this is a flood. We were here about a month ago draining it and the trees didn't have leaves yet. The trees are still not completely full, just about there. In this area, the growing season officially starts around June 15th, but we haven't had a frost in nearly 4 weeks. It's been slightly warmer this year than it was last year. Last year, I know at my house personally, our last frost was May 26th, probably later here last year, but this year had an earlier growing season. But like last year, so far, the start of the summer, it's not summer yet, I know, but it's been below average temperatures. We've been getting more rain than usual, so that's very nice. I like that. Last year was one of the coldest recent years on record. This year is shaping up to be the same, although next week is going to get decently warm out for summer. So we drained this one when we were out here last month. There's 2 culvert pipes. I believe both of them are 18-inch diameter plastic pipes. They're both plugged up by the Beavers. The Beavers are flooding the road, and we should be able to get them unplugged fairly fast. Last time I believe we got them both open in about 15 minutes or so. We just passed over a fairly large creek right there. This is a small creek we're about to unclog. We saw 1 moose last night, but it's that time of year. Now we're getting into summer. There's not as many moose. Mating season's over. You don't see as many walking around on the roads. We will see a few here and there. Ooh, got some mud. But there are a lot of deer. I don't know why. Usually out here on these logging roads, we see more moose than deer. When I say more moose, we might see a couple every night. But this year, we've been seeing a lot of deer in the evening hours. I wonder if it's from just a few hundred miles away, all the giant wildfires Quebec had. I wonder if they all came down here because of that. I don't know. But where all those wildfires were, that'll quickly turn into grasslands within a year or two. So that'll probably boost the deer population. And here we are. Here's the flood. Let's pull on over and get to work. Free car wash. Woo! Nice. Truck's very dirty. It's gonna look clean now that it's wet. All right, we gotta gear up, get the big high boots back on, which are wet because I flooded them while unclogging an 8-foot culvert a few hours ago. But we'll get them back on. Don't want to flood another pair of shoes. All right, everyone, we're all geared up. Got the big high boots on, got the rake out, got camera number 2. The mosquitoes are everywhere, but I got bug spray on, so they're leaving me alone. Someone that's not leaving me alone are the deer flies. They don't care at all what kind of bug spray I put on. At the last job, I put permethrin spray on. Helps with the mosquitoes. These guys don't care. Now I just put Deep Woods Off on, the generic one that Walmart sells. It works the same. They don't care about that either. They'll still buzz around my head and land on me. This has really grown in since the last time we were here. We got to get camera number 2 over here. Yeah, there's a lot of flies. So can we... Oh, big frog. Where's the pipe? Oh, big frog, big frog. It's a dead giveaway, that big lump the beavers left. Last time we were able to get both of them open. We got a lot of water to work with. The water really helps us unclog these things. All right, and we should be able to get that thing completely drained. Woo. Bunch of water down there. Before we put camera 2 up, let's quickly go look at the water crossing. So we'll get this thing drained 2 feet. 2.5 feet maybe. Yeah, good amount of water. Not that much where it's pushing the grass over. Not really. But let's get this off the road. There's so much water. I think it's undersized what they have for piping, but it does fit through it. But during a storm, I don't think these pipes could handle it. Actually, I think there's two 2-foot culverts. They got them more plugged up than last time. There's the debris from last time. There's the debris from 2 times ago, which wasn't us. I'm gonna leave the camera up here. Last time we left it down there, aimed at the pipes, but I think we're gonna leave it up here, camera number 2, just because I think it'll be kind of cool to see on camera number 2 the riverbed fill up with water from basically nothing. All right, we're getting camera number 2 active. Here we go. All right, camera number 2 is going. All right, make a noise for alignment. When I'm editing it, we can get it perfect. Look how still this pond is. Beautiful reflection. All right, let's get to work with the frog supervisor. Now the pond won't be completely gone. This pond is like 4 or 5 feet in the middle, but we'll drop it back enough where it won't affect the roadway. There's a lot of mosquitoes, but they're not landing on me. If I sit still, the flies will start biting. Oh, I already feel the pipe. That made the job a lot easy. Ah! Fly went in my eye. We got a whirlpool! I heard a blast! Got a whirlpool! I heard a blast! It got louder. Slightly louder again. What was that? Was that a fish or an angry beaver out there? It just let go. Wow, that got loud. Not 100% yet, but almost. It just let go. Wow, that got loud. Not 100%. Wow, we just created such an undertow that's gonna help us tear it apart. Wow. Now we're gonna start pipe number 2. But I gotta look at the other side before we start slowing down. Wow. Whole riverbed's full. Now let's get the other pipe going. All right, that I can already tell is slowing down. That's a lot of current. That is a dangerous suction right there. At least it doesn't have the siphon suction, which is a bit worse if it was actually under the rotor. I gotta show you it up close. It's like doing a double whirlpool, kinda. Look at the edges of it going together. It's really cool. And you see underneath the water how powerful it is. It's eroding the bottom all by itself. We'll mess up the Beaver Dam foundation a little bit more. But before we start running out of water pressure, we got to get pipe number 2 open. This one's going a bit now. Oh, whirlpool. Usually beavers get better at dams every time they do it, but these are easier to remove than last time. Oh. I think, did we get a bunch to move? It felt like it. That's a lot of suction there. Oh, we got a bunch to move. Oh. I flooded my boots, but it's okay, they were already wet. They're more protection from getting bit anyways. Because I don't mind getting in the water and getting wet. Someone mentioned in my comments, I think I need to get a crowbar as big as this and keep it in the car. Or even a metal bar. If I was able to pry, because this will break, I'd be able to get it open much faster. That's a big whirlpool. It's sucking rocks in now. It's already off the road. Yeah, that suction is strong. If I like fell down perfectly, it would try to get me to fit through there. All clear. Just like last time we were here, we got a lot of gas bubbles coming up. The water pressure is holding mud against gas pockets formed by rotting material. Now that the water level's dropping, the gas isn't being held in with as much pressure. That's why you'll see bubbles on the surface of the water. They obviously don't know there's a beaver problem here, so we gotta mark this one with ribbons so the trapper will recognize it as a beaver issue. I gotta empty out my big high boots too. Nice whirlpool. This will drop back within the next half hour or so. We've already lost like 6 inches of water. It might just be by coincidence, but they usually will install one of the pipes lower than the other. The low one's primary flow, the other one will step in during storms to help. We gotta go ahead and empty out the big high boots right now while you watch this a little bit more. Fixing the soles. I don't have socks and I don't have pants right now because I'm letting them dry. I have another pair, but they'll dry by tonight. Then I don't need to keep doing that. We'll stick this right here on the tripod, let it hang for a little bit until I get out of here. Is it gonna hold? Maybe. We'll let this one drip dry too, just for like 5 minutes, so I don't have like a little puddle in the bottom of my boot. go look at the other side now. So, water level I think dropped about 8 inches now. See over there on the trees. Also, when we got here, this pipe was underwater a little bit. This one's now out of the water. It's going a little bit slower than it was, although we got them both open now compared to last time we went across the road. And that's going real good. It's only going to slow down from here. Here's what this side looked like before. And here's what it looks like now. We shut off camera number 2. Down here. Here's what down here looked like before. And here's what it looks like now. Water has already receded, say 4 inches from the edge of the road. Just going to continue. Looks like coffee right here on the edge. This mud is very, very squishy walking in it without shoes. Feels kind of nice. I really don't expect to step on anything bad out here. It's so pristine. Wow, this water is super cold. Didn't think it would be this cold. We got a fish in here. Where to go? It's probably not going to allow me to catch it. It went into the fog where I can't see. It's a teeny little, I think it's called creek chub, creek crub, something like that. Something like that. Well, if it allows me to come back with a net, I'll throw it back in the pond. If not, it'll be bird food. Oh, there it is. Yep, it's exactly what I thought it was. Yeah, maybe we'll come back when this dries up into a little teeny puddle. Then maybe we can catch it with a cup or a aquarium net I have. But this is going to keep on dropping now. See, there's gas bubbles coming up all over the place. Like, wow, look at that. See it? It stopped. It was coming up consistently like an aquarium in that one little spot. But all the bubbles, it's just gas being trapped in the swamp. It's slowing down a little bit. Look at that pressure. Wow. Nice. Now there's even more pressure over on the other side. Touch this water. Wow. Look at that. There's a video of myself about 2 years ago. I got down and I tried to hold it back, and the splashing was so huge. All right, my feet have dried off enough now I can get them back into these dry boots. Let's have a little bit of fun while we wait around. A good old stick race. Whoop. Here it goes. So this area here, most likely, was originally all forest with a little teeny stream going through here back before humans. Then they build this road here, which is basically a dam with the spillway open. The beaver sees it as a perfect opportunity for a quick pond. Typically, beavers will have to build a dam across the whole stream valley to build a pond, but the dam's already there for them. All they got to do is plug these two pipes. which they can do just a couple of hours. They're small pipes, especially if there's a couple of beavers living here. I don't see a lodge. There could easily be one hid in there, but back before the trees had leaves, didn't see anything like that. And yep, I think it's a secondary pond, especially since it wasn't rebuilt overnight. It took like a month for this to reoccur. It's probably a secondary pond. Anyways, once they first made it into a pond because of the logging company's road, it flooded the land, killed all the trees. This was all trees. That's why you see logs down there in the pond bed, because this used to never be flooded before. And yep, this has been going on a while. Then you see all the new vegetation that's about 8-10 feet tall. They must have trapped and relocated the beavers or hunted them off, and there was no beavers here for a while. Now there's a new family of beavers reflooding it, and these small trees, all that vegetation is super soft wood. They can easily chew it. They love this type of tree for eating the bark, which is their main source of food. I have a lot of supplies. They're gonna keep on plugging this up until they are relocated or hunted. Look around here. Look at all these gas bubbles coming up. Yep, we've already lost over a foot of water. We'll lose about 1 more foot. This log will come out of the water slightly. I hate deer flies. They're even worse than the horse flies. Even though the horse flies hurt worse, the deer flies come in such numbers. And if you aren't waving your hand around or constantly walking, they land on you and start biting you. So this is what I usually use. It's for clothing, and I also buy this. It smells the same, works the same as Deep Woods Off, and yeah, that bug spray I just showed is the knockoff brand that Walmart sells of Off, and they usually sell it for $4 something a can or a 2-pack for a little bit more. But I got lucky the other day. I was like, what? Walmart sold a 2-pack, actually I think for $12 something, and a single can for $1.50? Well, I'd have to be stupid to buy the 2-pack right next to it. So I bought like 2 dozen of them and looked around the store, found a center aisle with more of it that wasn't in the camping aisle. It was also labeled $1.50. It looked like a glitch in the computer, and the employees did not care. Any person could see that was a mistake, but yet they put the price tag up, not in one, but multiple spots around the store, because the bug spray is sold in the camping area, in a center aisle in the middle of the store, and in the garden area. All 3 locations had the bug spray for the same low price, which was obviously a mistake. I couldn't believe when I got to the register it was actually that price. So I stocked up on a whole bunch of it. And they had a whole pallet of that stuff. I could have bought hundreds of them. The reason I didn't, newer bug sprays tend to lose pressure in a few years. Not always, but it usually doesn't go as long as... I have Deep Woods Off from the 1950s in my room of old stuff, and it's still pressurized. It's been used too, and it's still pressurized. Usually the gasket leaks, but it just shows they used to build things to last. But that was awesome, getting a deal on bug spray like that. Look how cheap this bug spray is. And it is the right thing. Repel Max aerosol right there. But the twin pack is $9. Usually when you buy in bulk, it's cheaper. But yes, that's the actual price. I just bought one. What? Even at the center aisle? That's not a mistake, but someone else got them. I love playing with these maple tree seeds. Used to call them spinners or helicopters when we were little, because they spin on the way to the ground. Noticing it when the wind blows, a bunch of them come out of this tree. We used to have when I was a little kid, we had a silver maple tree in the backyard, and they're like 5 times as big as that, and those were a lot of fun, throwing them in the air. I'm getting bit like crazy. We're gonna take off. We're not gonna wait around for this thing to drain. These bugs won't give up. And it's actually perfect timing. It's starting to rain. See all the drops on the water? Well, actually more of those are bubbles than not. But yeah, it just started raining. Water level dropped a lot compared to what it looked like when we arrived. Here's what it looked like. And here's what it looks like now. We dropped it back quite a bit. It'll drop back a little bit more, but you saw there was a good amount going across. I think it'll slow down maybe half of what's going through it now. But it's already got to the point now. This is less than half of that maximum we got it going. The rain just picked up. I'm only feeling a few sprinkles, but you can really see it on the water. We gotta start moving. We need wind in here. There's a lot of mosquitoes in the car. I left the door open and they must have smelled my carbon monoxide I'm breathing out left in the car. There's a lot of them in here. And we're gonna let some of those angry flies out. Let's get on the road. Gonna have a dinner on the way to the next job. Oop, ran over a stick. Nicely drained. Perfect timing. Didn't get wet. It's raining now. Boom, 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 boom. Gotta shut the windows. It just started coming down. Alright everyone, I hope today's video was interesting. Thanks for watching, and have a great day. Beavers are going to have some more water now to get that thing filled back up. Those are tiny pipes, and if they can plug that in a couple of hours, they'll have their pond filled back up and flooding the road again by morning. They got to be relocated. That's going to keep on being a problem. Boom. Ooh, there's 2 moose! Mama just ran in the woods and there goes the baby. The rain stopped. This is a fresh logging area. It's just logged. A couple of weeks ago, I'd say, all the debris on the ground, all the evergreen needles are turning brown. A couple of weeks. Not fully brown yet, everything dropped. Pine needles take a few weeks to turn brown in this type of weather. If it was summer, they'd be a bit faster. If it was winter, they'd stay green probably until spring. But we gotta be very careful. They have double wide log trucks taking these roads. Take these corners slowly. Although it's 5 o'clock, so most of the loggers will probably be off. But some logging companies do have logging going all hours of the day, different shifts. It looks like a lot of the logging is down that road there. It looks a little bit heavily traveled in front of me. They might be going in one way and coming out another way. They usually do that with the big trucks. I just want to take a look down here at what they're doing, assuming this is where they're actively doing it. Definitely some of the trucks are coming from here. All that is birch. They usually sort it out pretty nice. I can tell this right here is all balsam fir, perfectly straight logs. To the left is cedar. Smells really good if you get out and smell those piles. The mud's a bit sticky. I can feel a little bit of lag. If a log truck does come from in front of me, I will literally have to turn around because their trailers are double wide. This was a big clear cut. A log fell off the truck, see it? We got the clearance, I believe. Yeah. Nope, right here is proof that it does not look like the log trucks are doing that method of going in a circle. This is where the log truck, it pulls up ahead, it backs the empty trailer into the mud where it likely won't get stuck, then they turn around here. Yep. Every now and then you see one, but most of the log trucks out here are not 6-wheel drive. A couple of them are though. But an empty trailer, they're unlikely to get stuck. And now the road goes to nothing. Look at this. It looks like it used to go straight, but this is a little offshoot that kept open. Some of the log trucks up here, the landing gear on a normal big rig, you crank it up, but that can get stuck on things like these rugged roads and railroad tracks, humps in the road. But then what they can do is pull a big pin out and crank the whole thing up completely out of the way. That's really cool. And they got very rugged tires. All right, we got a 5-pointed. We're going back. This road's closing up a lot. Boom. Now the log trucks that I've been seeing out here, they could still show up if they are working around the clock. I don't see any heavy machinery here, so it looks like the logging is done. They just got to get the wood out of here. But the log trucks I've been seeing are the ones that are self-loading. Right in the center of the trailer, a guy gets up into a chair and they have a crane. They pick it up and put it in the front and back of the truck. And yeah, so one of those trucks could show up where the driver's the one that loads it themselves. And if that does show up, and while I'm on this point of the road, I'm going to be stuck out here for a little bit until that guy leaves, because it's going to block the road, that truck. It's double wide. That's alright. That'd be kind of fun, actually, to watch them load it. Let's try to get back to the main road before one of those trucks shows up. The smell of a fresh cut, in particularly this type of tree, doesn't smell good. Birch and doesn't smell the best when you cut into it. And, oh, that's what I'm smelling. Aspen stinks when you cut into it. It's already cracked. It's drying fast. This is cedar. I love to smell that stuff. I left the truck running in case I need to move. But I honestly don't think at this hour they're going to show up with another truck. Let me smell this. Wow, that smells so good. Love that. So this is what a clear cut looks like. They left a few things standing, but this is basically a clear cut. Only reason they didn't cut some of this stuff down is because it's so skinny, you can't really do anything with it. But those little skinny trees, they're gonna die. They're used to protection from wind of other trees. Without the other trees, this area is gonna dry out fast, so there won't be enough moisture to keep them alive. But overall, I think small clear cuts like this are better than thinning, because a lot of times thinning makes the remaining trees vulnerable to blowing over. Since they're so skinny, they rely on the rest of the forest to stop the wind. Also, the sunshine hitting the ground dries it out. Their roots aren't used to being deep, so it usually isn't good, especially if there's a drought within the next couple of years. But areas like this, patchwork, like they'll do a little here, then maybe in a couple of years they'll cut this down, which looks like it's probably not ready, maybe. Then In like 10 years, they'll do the next patch down there about the same size. So it's not like they cut everything down as far as the eye can see. But this forest here, none of it's old growth. It's basically a tree farm. It's exactly what it is. Most of this is pulp, which would be made into paper products, cardboard, toilet paper, press board, chipboard, all that kind of stuff. And the remaining junk, like the bark, once it gets to the sawmill, gets thrown into wood-burning power plants. Maine and New Hampshire are over 90% renewable energy, and by renewable, wood burning. All the scrap left over from the sawmills. All right, we're back out on the main road. Here's another logging site. There's one of the machines. That's pretty cool how that thing works. See it? Right there, that thing grabs the tree, holding it firmly, cuts the bottom of it off, and it lightly places it on the ground. Well, it grabs it, cuts the bottom of it, then the operator will tip it sideways. That thing will suck the whole tree through it, instantly cutting all the branches off it. Then they put the log where they want it. So this is a very fresh site. There's still leaves that haven't died attached to some of these logs. This machine right here is what pulls it out of the woods after that other machine cuts it down. Very rugged. They make their own roads just by plowing through everything. I've been driving by a lot of piles, but this one is abnormally high. Look at that one. Alright, it looks like we're driving through an active area where the employees are probably still around. Don't see any of the equipment moving though. The trailer's got a flat tire. Don't see anyone around, but the truck is there. This is extremely fresh. They didn't even move it all out to the road. I still see little stacks back there in the clearing. Those are some long ones over there. That's gonna have to be picked up with a regular logging truck, not the ones with the loader in the middle of it. You see this area, they're not even clear cutting that big. This area they're doing teeny little clear cuts, like a checkerboard here and there in the woods. Here's an opportunity to show you how the machine works that takes the tree down. But here it goes. Oh, there it goes, taking off all the branches. That's so cool. Oh, it cuts them to the right size for the truck. This is actually the first time I've ever seen this in real life. There goes another tree. Cut off the bottom, picks the whole thing up sideways, ripping off all the branches. This is actually the first time I've seen that in real life. Let's film them cutting down a couple more of them. And then the other machine with the big tracks goes out there and puts them on a... Is he going to do a bunch at the same time? Like the bottom part there, I guess they don't want that. They just rip that out. That'll get left behind. But if we zoom out, look how big this space is. All over the ground, this is what the guy's leaving behind, and the other machine will pick it up and bring it to the road, but the other worker's not there at the moment. Very rugged machine. I don't think we're gonna have a good angle now. There goes that tree. Oh, yep, there we go. Mosquito. See how fast this goes along? A couple days of work is all it takes to cut down this big area. That was interesting to see. I've seen many logging videos on the internet, but first time I've ever seen that machine actually up and running in real life. I've stopped and looked at a lot of those machines when they weren't working, and they're interesting. I've known how they worked, but I'm first time seeing it actually in operation. So this right here is what kind of machine is going to go out there and pick up all the logs that guy's cutting down and leaving out there. Something like this. Another operator will load that up, bring it down here to the road, unload it, then a big log truck will be picking it up. And off to the sawmill. These are some really big maples. So that machine you saw out there, that one had wheels with really big tire chains. But here's one with tracks, which this one here looks like it's a lot more likely to get stuck. That John Deere is tough. This one right here might get stuck easily. But this is what's on the end of it. Same thing I showed earlier. Grabs the tree, cuts it, puts it to the side, sucks it through, ripping everything off. Then it cuts it to size and drops it.